guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on the Supernatural Show. And I've got something truly supernatural that I'm going to start talking about today. You remember when I told you I think big? You remember when I told you I go big and I decide I want to? Remember when I told you that I was going to build you a home? Well, we're going to be discussing that here today on the show. I'm here with my lovely co-host, Shannon.
Hello, guys.
We've got some wonderful things to talk to you about, and I'm excited to talk about it. So let's go ahead and go beyond the veil and take a look at what I want to show you. So let's do that. All right, guys, so this is what we're going to be talking about today. It's going to be a little bit different of a show. But I have a dream. And it's the dream of us as the people coming together and building us a secret refuge. The People's Secret Refuge Plan. And no, I don't have all the details of what it all will be because this is the beginning of the discussion, but this is something I've been thinking about for a long time. And I think it's time that if we're going to do it, we need to do it. And so this is what we're going to be talking about today. I don't have all the answers yet, but I will say this, and we're going to come back to what we're looking at here. This is a new page on the website, TheSupernatural.Show, where I'm going to be placing all the information related to this project that we're going to pull off. So it's just a matter of organization and time. And so let's discuss it a little bit. Bring us back up here. And something I know that Shannon has. Something similar to this is something she's thought about for quite a while. You know, it's if the thing is it would be nice to think that we want to go out in the mountains somewheres and we want to build a community for just yourself and your wife maybe and your 3 kids or your 10 kids, and you can do that. However, if you really want to have a successful community, you're going to have a community. You're going to have people that handle the gardens. You're going to have people that handle the technology, because this community is going to be a self-sustaining community where it's not going to need electricity from the outside. It's not going to need water from the outside. We're going to be drinking pure, clean, unadulterated water, and we're going to be living off the land. It's something that would take a pretty large acreage. You know, maybe it's 100 acres, maybe it's more. It depends on how things work out. And but I know there are those of you out there who have talked to me before in the past and offered me to come to your properties that were amazing offers, but I knew even then that this is what I have to do, that I have to build a community, a secret place where our brothers and sisters can come together. And yes, I realize there's a lot of details, like, well, you can't just invite everybody. Well, no, but there's there's a way to handle all things. Now you may say, what's this YouTuber talking about building and development in the mountains? Well, I just happen to be, or used to be, the number one real estate agent in the state of Idaho, and for almost a decade in Idaho, mountain country. And I literally single-handedly developed, put together the plans together on it, the house plans, the everything on 2 large projects up in the mountains in Idaho, and had the entire first phases and second phase on one of them completely sold out prior to even putting a shovel in the ground. Meaning, if we all work together, and I know there's a lot of you out there that would be excited to have something like this in a community where we all work together as brothers and sisters the way it's supposed to be, and everybody contributes. There's nobody living on the hill with the big house. Everybody's living in similarly accommodations, that kind of thing, whether it be tiny houses or whether it be earth homes or whether it be whatever it to be. We're going to figure all that out. It's going to take a lot of effort, but this is something that I know how to do. And it's something that I've done before. Not in this way exactly, no. But I have the ability to do this. Not by myself, but I can help us pull this off with the power of the internet and the power of the people, which is what this show has been all about from the very beginning. So with that being said, what do you think, Shannon? What are your thoughts?
Well, for many years, my father and me and my husband were looking into doing the same thing. Just to not, to be self-reliable and have a place that we could take care of ourselves in a community. And it wasn't the right timing then. When my father passed away, I tried to find some land, and it was beautiful up in Oregon, but it just wasn't the right timing, probably not even the right spot. But we've been kind of on this journey for a long time, studied a lot about permaculture, different types of building, because I've always felt in my heart and in my spirit that someday the comforts of even the home that I own and live in may not be here. And just with all the things going on in the world escalating right now, it's not a bad idea to really think ahead, because eventually, we will have to rely on communities to take care of each other. I mean, if anyone really truly believes in the Bible, which I do, and in Revelations, if you receive that mark, you won't be able to buy or sell. Well, none of us are going to go and get that. So how else are we going to survive? We're going to have to rely on each other like people have done for centuries before. And it doesn't mean it's a cult. It doesn't mean it's some venture to put your money in because we need a place. It's to take care of our community here in God, because whoever is left over in these next coming years, I mean, even with the climate change stuff, everything that we've got facing us before even all this stuff happened in the Middle East just recently, we've all known that we might have to come back to, trade, taking care of ourselves. It's just smart. It's just smart. So, that being said, I know there's plenty of people in our community who feel the same way, who've probably felt that way for years. And we all have some amazing skill sets that we could utilize in some project like this. And I think it's a fantastic idea. It's something that you had mentioned before, and I said it's been on my heart for quite some time. And being self sustainable is just smart in the coming years. It's just smart.
Yeah, we're just not going to be able to. They've made it real clear with Agenda 2030 what they're going to do, and there are those of us that will be still here and will be protected, but we're going to have to come together. Mm, this is not going to be something where it's a place where you go and it's you can't leave and you have to stay there all year or anything like that. It's a place that's a place where you can go and come as you please. You know, it's a home base, you might say, for you because life as we know it is not going to exist by 2030. And that's 7 years.
Is that clear?
And it's just not going to exist. They've told us. And do you think they mean business? I do. I know they do. So it's time, it's past time, really. You know, we really need to do this. And it's it's been something in my mind for quite a while, but I needed to get a platform where I could do something like this, a website that can handle all the communication. Um, there'll be, I'm going to add a group to the website right at the end of this conversation or this video. I'm going to add a group that's going to be called the People's Secret Refuge Discussion Group, where uh, where I want all your guys to post your conversations, your ideas, your videos to people of people that have awesome ideas about how to grow things better, how to create electricity right out of the earth, how to all these things exist, and all you've got to do is gather it together. And yeah, I can't do this by myself. There's going to need to be a lot of volunteers to help me organize it and pull it together and pull it off. There's going to need to be funds raised and you know controlled and kept in a legal manner, and in order to pull something off like this, we're all going to have to put our hand on the hoe, you might say, and pull the plow to make this happen. But God told us that if we have faith and belief, faith, we could move mountains. And that's what we're going to do. It's going to take a little while, but it's going to come together faster than we could probably imagine. I mean, technically, because I've done these type of developments before, technically we could pull this off in 2 years, maybe three. It is doable, but we're all going to have to put our hands on the plow. Unless you're going to take your chances, you have a better plan. If you do, invite me to it. You know, maybe you do have one. Maybe we could join in with someone else or something. You're welcome to contact me about anything like that. Um, but I know I know that I have the capability, the brain power to be able to pull something off like this. I've done it, and but this is way better than anything I've ever done because it would provide us. I mean, just think about it. Nobody's growing grass. Well, some people might be growing some grass, but that's a different kind of
In
grass.
California.
But I'm talking about nobody's growing lawns of grass. They're growing fruits and vegetables. And the things, I mean, why do you think they talked us all into growing grass in our yards instead of growing our own food? Now, what's wrong? You can't hardly get your food without going to them to get it. You know, whether it be Food Line or Publix or whatever Walmart, grocery, all this stuff. They've got a grip on it. But we can if we can pry their fingers from around us if we join together. If y'all guys will get behind this idea, get behind this dream, we can pry their fingers off of us. And you say, well, there's nowhere you can hide. You call it a secret place. Our Father in heaven has shown me that no one or nothing can harm me or anyone who's with me over and over numerous times. Some of you have heard the stories that I've told about these things. And I believe and have faith that if we do this, we will be protected. Do you not believe that God can reach down and wipe away a thousand army, 1,000 man army, or 100,000 man army? If God is with you and for you, no one can stand against us. Yeah, there may be bumps in the roads, hurdles, and problems, I guarantee it. But this is doable. There's someone out there right now that has the land that this could be done on. And I pray that my Father in heaven puts it upon your heart to realize that if this was done right, that it should be done. Maybe on your land. Maybe you already have the land. Maybe it's the perfect setup and you know it. And of course you would be nervous. Of course you would be have concerns that all need to be addressed and would be addressed and dealt with. And well, how do we determine who gets in and this and that? And everything can be answered. Everything can be figured out. And yes, it's going to take some effort. And there's someone out there that's listening to my voice right now that has a large amount of funds sitting in the bank, and you don't know what you're going to do with that money for the rest of your life. You don't have anything worthy in your life of those funds to make something happen. There's many of us that are sitting on money in our homes and in our bank accounts and all these things. Now, I'm not saying go to the website and say I'm going to give you all my money. I'm saying let's have a logical conversation about this. And we're going to do it. We're going to be having meetings and get togethers to discuss this and pull the plans together because we got to get going, guys.
It's time to start walking in faith. You
Yes.
know, we talk about that a lot, and and time again throughout the Bible, throughout history, God has shown us that when we walk in faith, there is a place of refuge for us.
Mm-hmm.
And when we really take that time, we wipe away the fear of what if, and we walk in faith, then God will carry us through. So, whatever questions and fears you have, take it to God. And if you feel that walking in faith in this particular project is good for you, then fantastic. But I think that the more and more of us who make these communities happen, because we're not the only ones, and but we need more than one. We need to be able to have different places to be able to go when when our homes could not be here anymore. I mean, God has shown over and over throughout history, no one is promised tomorrow. Your material possessions are worthless in the eyes of God. It's how we take care of each other and our relationship with God. And it's just really time to walk in faith, guys, because we are running out of time. And whatever is on your heart to do in your spirit, just listen to God's voice and walk in faith in whatever direction that it is that he's pointing you in. And this is the direction we've all needed to kind of go, at least in our world. So I think I think that this is a great
See,
venture.
the
Just
reason why they have been trying to divide the people is because divided they can conquer you, and confusion and chaos takes over. But we actually have there's 168 just on YouTube, and already gaining a large following on several other platforms like Rumble and what is that one called right there? Doo-doo-doo. Um, Anyways, another platform I can't think of the name of it at the moment. But we have actually enough people just in the live stream in YouTube to pull this off. Just right now, 171 right at the moment, just in YouTube. Just us 171 could make this happen. You see, when you go to a bank, if we need to borrow the money, maybe we will be blessed and we don't have to borrow a dime because there's someone watching or someone that will watch that already has the money. And that don't mean you have to give up all your money and hand it out to everybody else for them to only benefit from and you benefit just a little bit. But there's ways to make this thing happen so that we can come together and pull it off. We have the power, we have the people, and we have the website, we have the communication channels, I have the knowledge. I don't have all the knowledge, but I know how to pull this kind of a thing off. I've done it before. I know the people to hire, the architects, and the the attorney that you need, and just everything, the designer and the artist to draw everything and create images of all the stuff and what it's going to look like and all this. And yeah, I mean we've got it. It's just a matter of that. Do y'all guys want it, or are you gonna go at your own? You know, and you're gonna run off somewheres and hide by yourself or with a small group or something like that. For me, I think I would like to be with y'all guys. You know, there's so many of you that offered me to come to stay with you. There's many of you have offered me to come and help me even build a cabin and do all these kinds of things. And there's all great offers. But I know and I knew that one day I had to go ahead as soon as I could get some things done, which I've gotten to pretty much done. Um, that we need to go ahead and build the people's refuge, people's secret refuge. And no, we don't have a location picked out. We don't have a lot of things picked out, but with the power of the people, it can all be done easily. Just think how many, just say there's 176 just on YouTube here. What do you think we could accomplish? Is there anything we couldn't accomplish? I don't think so, especially when it comes to building a community like this. There's still a lot of beautiful, wonderful lakefront properties and mountains and places where it's not too cold, where you can survive, but it's not too hot. You know, I don't think we better go living in the desert necessarily. I remember speaking to a lady one time. She offered to give me, she had a bunker, supposedly a large bunker. Like, I'm not sure. I didn't get into discussions enough with her to know if it was a missile silo or what it was exactly. But she offered to sign half of it over to me if I would come and live there and help her build it out. At the time when she offered it, it wasn't the right timing. I don't know if she's still out there. Maybe she is, and maybe she can come and tell me more about her place that she was talking about. And but I knew that there would come the time in the day where I would have the platform, I would have the people, and I would be pushed because it's like, for a long time now, y'all guys have know, most of you know that I live close to the ocean in South Carolina, very close, within a mile. And I've known that this might not be the safest place to be in the coming years, and which I've talked about and discussed many times. But then I've gotten offers to go here, 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 like at least 100 different locations and opportunities. Even people offering just to give me free land. I didn't have to do nothing. Just take it. But I never took anything. And and I never really back then I never understood why. Why wasn't I doing it? But it's come more clear, obviously, especially now that it's because this is what I'm supposed to do, to build this community. I've had the training. God sent me through real estate. He showed me how to make it all happen, all the people you have to deal with, and the things you have to figure out, how to deal with if you end up needing banks. Hopefully, we don't, but how to do it. And I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know. I don't know about y'all guys. I'm not looking at the chat. Let me switch over to the chat and see what people what people are kind of saying. Yeah, you can't underestimate God. You can't underestimate the enemy either. But definitely any kind of it would be just so easy, simply just with the people that's in here watching this video right now. Now, of course, there will be thousands more people that'll watch this video and hear this message as well.
And
See,
there's something to say that eventually we can get it in, different spots. I know not everyone in um,
nothing
our
says they have to be only
families in
one location.
America,
Yeah, it doesn't
so
necessarily only have to be one location. This could be multiple locations. You know, you could you can do this in South America. You can do it in North America. You could do it in Canada. You could do it, I'm sure, overseas in Europe and other places as well. It could be done. You just have to have the belief and the motivation, but even more importantly, you have to have the platform. You have to have. You ever heard those saying, Shannon, of you're getting your cart before your horses?
yes.
Yeah, that's why I haven't talked about
Putting
that
your
yet.
eggs, before they hatch, kind of thing.
Yeah, you count eggs before you hatch, cart before the horses. The old saying, the horses, what that is that's y'all guys. Y'all guys, us, the people, when we come together in power together, just like we're doing right now, we have great power and we can accomplish great things. And I've always been the kind of person that just thinks real big. It's like, why not? Let's just go for the moon, And when I don't know if it was our first video or second video, whatever we did, I told you, and I've had these plans floating around in my head. We're going to go big. You know, I've I've been through the phase of just being afraid and having fear. I remember when I first started YouTube, I was afraid to say these things publicly and talk about these things publicly. Not because I was afraid of speaking in public, it was just because I was just still had some fear in me. Didn't have my belief in order, my faith in order. And I'm sure all of us are still dealing with some level of that at different stages and stuff, but we can do this. Here, Slick Smooth said, I ran a missionary in the Philippines. Then you got something to contribute. See, you're a contributor. What we're going to do is on the website. Let me pull that up real quick. Here on the website, on this page, you can see the nice lakefront with the boat, with the water out there on the lake, and the mountains in the background. And there's going to come a day, Shannon, where we're going to be standing there. And we're going to look out over the water and say, you remember when we were talking about standing here in the on the show, in the video?
Yeah.
And we're going to say, yeah, that was amazing, wasn't it? That we could have that level of faith that we could do something like this. So, yep, put one foot in front of the other. That's how you do it. You say, well, that's a big project. I don't know if I could. You don't have to. We do.
if if people can randomly put together a city in a matter of days for Burning Man, okay,
Yep,
we we can do just about anything,
yep.
and especially in the walk of faith with God. So may seem like a big venture, but again, just that little bit of faith, just enough to fill a mustard seed, can move mountains. And that's on a supernatural level, which is what we're all about here. If we, we really truly believe in the supernatural, God's power, God's might, there's a reason that our senses are tingling right now working on this project, because God has put it in our heart to walk in faith with him and to go forward with this in any way we can. And even just opening this discussion and seeing how many of you guys feel the same way has really kind of uplifted my spirits. I'm sure, I mean, there's been a few comments here of the opposite, but so far it melts my heart, because this has been something that I've dreamed of for years with my father. And Daniel just brought this up to me today, and I almost cried. Didn't, but I feel joy and hope in my heart with
Yeah.
this is a
God,
big dream, but it's doable.
God told us He would provide refuge. He would give us a place to go,
Yeah.
and I know that I have the ability to do this. I ain't just assuming that I know. I know that I have the ability to do it. I have I have the dream. I have the knowledge and background in real estate. When I was in real estate, give you a few examples. I built a database of. Well, there was a day when I decided, because I was selling, helping people buy houses, helping people sell houses, individual peoples. Then what I decided, I said, you know what? I think I want to deal with people who want to buy and sell many houses at the same time on a regular basis. And I said, okay, well, who is that? And so I thought about it, and I said, well, okay, it's real estate investors, it's builders, and then you could also go after like corporate entities that are like McDonald's, that's buying up locations for McDonald's, that kind of thing. But what I decided to go with was real estate investors and builders. So what I did was I built a database, many nights sitting up all night long, building a database of all the builders in the area. And then I built a database of real estate investors. So what I did, come up with this genius idea, which still to me amazes me to this day. But I said, well, real estate investors, they must hang out together or communicate or congregate somewhere. So I said, where is this at? So what I did was I went out and found real estate investment clubs. They're all over the United States, real estate investment clubs, and there's a lot of them in California and the whole West Coast in general, and there's all the way out here in South Carolina everywhere. And I would go on the websites and kept thinking, I'm thinking, well, how can I've got to be able to communicate. I can't just do one on one. I've got to be able to communicate with all of them at once. So I came up with two plans. Well, plan one was build another database, meaning emails. And I thought, well, how am I going to get all the emails of all these people? So one day it just hit me. It said, see if I can find or build a bot that will go to a website, like a little bot that you go to a website and you look for any email address that is in the entire website. And it'll produce me a list, like a spreadsheet of all of the email addresses that are in that website, because you just don't know, because some websites have tons of pages and it'll take you forever going through pasting and copying one by one. So I did a lot of looking and searching. I found a bot that was already designed, and I bought it for $20, $20. So then I went and I did a bunch of research, finding out all the different real estate investment websites that are out there. And then I started going one by one down the list. I would plug in the address in my bot, and it would go click, 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 give me like 30 or 40 different email addresses, and it would pull it down the spreadsheet. And I kept working on that, and I would take them all and put them in this database, this email database I had. And I had a friend of mine build me an email server, and I could have my own server, sending out my own emails, and that kind of thing. Well, I kept going through and hitting some of these websites, and I remember the day when I hit this one, and it was in L.A. As a matter of fact, I plugged this one real estate investment website club, real estate investment club website into it, and I hit search. It went and it pulled down like 3,000 email addresses of real estate investors living in LA. Well, let's just say that was the beginning of some really big stuff. That was what put me immediately to the top, being the top real estate agent in the state of Idaho, is having that database. It magnified my power. It was the horses in front of my cart, you see. And so then I got my builders all lined up. I went out and found different developers that had lots they wanted to sell. Then I became the developer. But at the time, I started finding developers who had stuff they were wanting to sell, lots they wanted to sell. I said, okay, can I bring in my own builders? Yeah, you can bring in your own builders. Okay, can I bring in my own investors, my own buyers? Well, of course you can. Okay, so then I had my builders design the houses, the different models that I could showcase. I put it all together into um, email formats where I could email it. We priced it all and everything. And I remember one time I sent out an email, and within 24 hours, I had sold 42 houses in 24 hours. Then it got even bigger. Then some of the people who were getting the emails said, I'm the owner of the real estate investment club in this location, in this location, in this location, dozens. Can you come and speak at a meeting? I sure can. I can come talk about Idaho real estate. So I hopped on a plane.
Hello, Moto.
Oh God, Shannon, can you handle things for a moment?
Sure, although I can't
No, you
finish the
can't follow
story.
that up exactly.
But
Just
um
handle it for a moment.
the thing is too is, as he's talking about his skill sets and how the resources are out there to get the land, there are people out there who are investors who want to do things along those lines. It's just really listening to God and what direction we want to go to. But truly, again, all of you guys have great skill sets, and we put them all together. It's very doable. And I know that in the Bible, it mentions that we will have a time to flee to the mountains. Well, maybe this is our time. And again, if we aren't going to be here to see the aftermath of the destruction, there will be those who are left behind, and there will be people that we love and want to have a place set up for. Aside from just saving ourselves, the children in future that will be left behind needs something to come to. And you know I would like to mention it on a side note, all of the things that are happening right now in our world. The enemy really wants us to have vengeance and hatred in our heart, and it's not about picking sides of government or who is right and who is wrong in these situations of war and destruction. It's about choosing the side of Jesus, loving thy neighbor, remaining meek. The meek shall inherit the earth. And last night I was in great lamentation over everything that's going on, and God told me to look into my Bible, and I opened it up, and I had thought of that passage, the meek shall inherit the earth, as I went on a walk before I opened up my Bible, and I opened it up right to that page. So just remember, guys, that it isn't our job for vengeance. It's not our place. We're not meant to have hate. We're here to pray for all that would they seek Jesus, not to fall into the paradigm that they want us in, and having hate for your neighbor. So that being said, Daniel's back. I'll let him continue with what he said.
Well, I'll just wrap up what I was saying here because I know Shannon's got an appointment she has to deal with here in a few minutes. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to put a form on the website here, and I'm going to finish my story here in a second. But I'm going to put a form on the website. If you go to the website and you click on the More button, and it's best to go directly to the website itself to be able to see this information instead of, if you've got a computer, use that. The website's way more exciting on a computer and way better than it is on a mobile, or although it's very functional on a mobile. But if you come here on the website and come down, you'll see it says the People's Secret Refuge Plan. Okay, right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a form. This is how we're going to start this out. I'm going to put a form down here, okay, that you can fill out. Maybe you've got a piece of land. Maybe you're an attorney. Maybe you're an architect. Maybe you're an architect or know one that would help. Maybe you're an artist and can draw some illustrations of various things that we might need. Maybe you're someone that would be interested in helping getting the project off the ground financially. Maybe you're a lot of things. If you're a human being, you can participate in this and you can be part of it. But what I'm looking for to start with are people that have a skill set or have something that they feel that you're being led uh, or want to contribute to try to make this happen so that ultimately it's a place that you can be. And ultimately it's a place that we can all be and we can all take care of each other and not have to depend on the beast anymore. What does the Bible say? It says, come out of her. What is her? It's the beast system. Stop buying food from her. Stop going to her gas station. Stop doing all these things. There's ways around this stuff, but not by ourselves. We can do it if we work together as a family, as a team. And yes, there's going to be hurdles, but we can do it. And I'm going to have a form right here that you can fill out, and you're going to need to put in your name, uh, email address, a phone number, because I probably need to talk to you, some of you at least. And there's going to be a box where you can fill out and explain how you think you can contribute or how you might be how you might consider contributing. Obviously, there's a lot of unknowns at this point, but there always is. It's with anything like this. The only thing when there's no unknowns is when you don't do nothing. You don't try nothing. You don't dare to try. But we're going to dare to try. And I already know that this is going to be successful because I know my people out there. I know who's listening. And so it's just a matter of pulling together, getting organized, and doing it. It's old hat for me. I've done this before. I just ain't done it in this exact style, knowing that we wanted to build a self sustainable community that doesn't need anything from the outside or very little from the outside, as little as possible. Because what? We want to come out of her. What's going to happen to us if we don't come out of her? She's going to eat us. But if we do come out of her, what will happen? God will protect us, and we will be left alone by them because we don't owe them nothing. We're not going to have contracts with them. We're going to do this completely legal, completely straight up, in the way it should be done. Maybe you're an attorney. No, we're going to need somebody that understands that side of it and everything as well, because we're going to need things written up. It's going to all have to be done professionally, uh, like I said, but I've already done it before. But right here on this page is where you're going to be able to do that at. Is just give me a few minutes as soon as the show's over, and I'll have that form up there. I actually already done it one time, but I accidentally hit the wrong button and deleted it right before the show started. But yeah, it'll be up there here shortly. And let's see here. Let me finish my story. So real estate investment clubs contact me when I was a realtor in Idaho, and they wanted me to start. Um, they wanted me to go out, so I did. The first one I went to, it was a smaller one. There was probably about 30 or 40 people in the audience, you might say. And I was a keynote speaker, and I spoke to them about different projects I had going on, different plans I was doing, different things that was happening, and was very successful. I can't remember, what all happened as far as how many properties I help people buy or sell and stuff, but a couple of ones later, that one was in, I think that one was San Diego, and then the next one was in L.A., and it was that big club, and I keynote was the keynote speaker there, and I hired a guy named John's Church to go to. He was Idaho's chief economic forecaster, and I paid for I paid for everything. Hired him to go there, and he went and spoke. He spoke about 30 minutes on Idaho and Idaho's future and blah blah blah, and then I spoke. I spoke for about an hour, and I even remember the first thing I said. Not like it was that great or anything, but I remember the first thing I said because I didn't have a plan written out that what I was going to say, just like I don't right now. But what I said was, has anybody made any? Because they're all real estate investors. They're there to try to make money. I said, has anybody made any money yet? And everybody kind of looked around, kind of giggled, and I said, well, we're getting ready to change that. I said, by the time we get done here tonight, somebody's gonna be making some money, because when you make your money in real estate is when you buy it. You think, well, no, it's when you sell it. No, you ain't gonna make a dime if you buy the wrong thing or if you do the wrong move or those kind of things. But I knew I had in my pocket a bunch of opportunities that weren't on the open market that I could bring and lay on the table in front of real estate investors. So what I did was I told them, I'm going to make you some money tonight. And what I did was at the end of the hour when I spoke, there were about there was between 400 to 500 real estate investors at the meeting, which is a pretty good little crowd. And by the time I was done speaking, I started noticing people on the left-hand side of the aisle. They were lining up and they had their checkbooks in their hands. And I thought, that's got to be a good sign. And I remember I set 30-minute appointments. Give somebody 30 minutes. I had 30 minutes to meet with this one, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. And I met with people all the way to like 10:30 at night. And then I met with another group of them in the morning time, like from 9 a.m. until like 2 o'clock. But by the time it was done, I had sold over, what was it, 16, I think it was about $16 million, approximately, somewhere in there. Don't quote me, but somewhere around there in real estate in a 24-hour period. And $16 million in real estate is, as a real estate agent, is pretty dang good. But what's better on top of it is that I was the buyer's agent and the seller's agent, and I was handling it all, including one of the developments was mine. And I guess the reason why I'm explaining this to you is to help you understand. And I know y'all guys know me, and a lot of you probably think I'm reasonably smart or whatever, but I give all credit to the Father for giving me the intelligence and the lead on what I should be doing. But I'm just letting you know that I've done this kind of big stuff before. YouTube is not the only thing I've ever done or been successful at. And I know there are bigger YouTubers out there, but you don't get to be the size of Mr. Beast unless you're sold out to the beast. What does he actually do that's truly good for anyone? Hands people cash, showing off and stuff like that to build his channel. He's not really truly benefiting the community. And there's other people out there that have bigger organizations than I have by a long shot, but they're sold out to the beast. I could name a handful, that are names that are known, that kind of thing. But we don't need that kind of crowd. We've already got a big enough crowd, trust me. Like I said, there's enough people. There's 171 people in this room, in this live stream right now. There's already enough here in this one live stream to make this happen. You know how I know? Because I've done this kind of stuff before. And we can accomplish this. So if you're someone that can contribute something to this in any way, shape, or form, think big. Let's build us a home. Let's build us a community. Let's come out of her. We can, but we're going to need to come together to do it. And this is the first time I've talked about this publicly, and there'll be many more times. And so you'll get a lot more updates in the future. I'll keep you on top of what's going on and what we're doing. But I'm going to put whatever focus it takes. Even if I had to do every video talking about this, I'm going to put it whatever focus it takes, because it's that important, because we're running out of time. And I don't know how, but I've just been given a new leash on life, you might say. Not financially necessarily, but in motivation. I just believe that we can do anything we want, and I know that we can. So please go over to the website and check this page out. Again, it's called let's see, what is it on the website again called for sure? It's called the People's Secret Refuge Plan. Yeah. Okay. Go check out that page. And if most of you are already members, of course, but if you're not a member of the website, all you got to do is on the homepage is just come right here to the homepage, come down to this little button right here. Click on that button, and it'll tell you everything you need to know of how to be a member on the website. And also, let me give you this. to help out a little bit in case you're not a member. This gives you the coupon code at the end, the 75% off 3 months, $6.52. That gives you uh, the first 3 months, 75% off the first 3 months, makes it like $1 a month. So if you want to follow what we're doing and you want to get involved with the website, this is your opportunity. And I don't think a buck is too much to ask, like that, or even $4. So with that being said, if you don't get that coupon code, you can always replay this video and come back to the end of the video here, and you'll be able to find it. Let's see what else. What the supernatural is going on, Shannon?
Well, in the natural, I am about ready to get going with my son's appointment here, but
Yes.
in this with the supernatural aspect, what the supernatural is going on, Jesus is coming. That is the ultimate supernatural thing that is going on. But
Yep.
anyways, this is quite, I think, a beautiful supernatural intervention of awesomeness from God, putting this all in our hearts, bringing us all together, really building the community, not just in the virtual world, but in the real world, guys. We have an opportunity to really actually build a real, tangible community. And praise Jesus, because who knows how long we'll even have this technology at our fingertips.
Yeah, we need to do it now.
So,
Do it
anyways, I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful, blessed day. Be safe out there. Keep your heart open to Jesus, and don't fall into the paradigm that's happening right now. And I will see you all on the next show, and hopefully on the website. And yeah, again, love you guys. Be kind. Love your neighbor. Pray for us all. Okay.
Indeed.
Love you.
All right, guys. Well, like I say, maybe give it just a minute or two, and I'm going to have that form up on the website if you're anxious to get over there and plug in some thoughts and send them to me. But with that being said, I love you. And it's not a matter of if we're going to build this community. It's just a matter of whether you are going to be involved in it or not. And with the forum, I'm not necessarily looking for everyone to go up there and say, I want to be involved. What I'm looking for to start with in this first go here is I'm looking for people that have something that they know that they could contribute. Maybe you're an architect, maybe you're an artist, maybe you're a realtor who happens to know of a certain property,
or
maybe
a farmer.
Maybe you're a farmer. Maybe you have the property. Maybe you've got it and you've been waiting on this opportunity to use it to bring in a community that you could benefit from, because you can't survive just one family in what's coming. It's going to take a community. And so, with all that being said, I love you guys. And let's build us a home. What do you say? Secret refuge. The people.
I think
Secret
it's,
refuge.
as I said, I think it's smart.
It is. And it's right, and it's righteous, and it's the right thing to do. And it's the right time to let's get it done. Let's everybody put your hand on the plow. Hold on tight. We're gonna have to pull kind of hard. You ready? Let's go.